From Pink News, a cisgender woman who claims she was fired by Walmart after a customer accused her of being trans has said the situation was confusing and heartbreaking. Danny Davis took to Facebook on Monday, the 24th of March, to ask for advice following her dismissal from Walmart, where she had worked at for 7 years. She wrote that she is a cisgender woman who is really tall, 6'4", and gave details of the incident, which she says happened on the 14th of March at a store in Florida. While she was alone on the toilet, a man entered and began shouting about trans people, claiming that he would protect his wife or girlfriend from them, and insinuating that Davis was transgender. She reported the incident to a supervisor, but a week later was informed that she had been sacked for failing to inform a quote-unquote salaried member of management about the interaction, and was deemed a security risk, she said. It felt absolutely awful, hurtful, confusing, and just heartbreaking, Davis told Pink News. I'd worked full-time there for 7 years. I worked hard and tried to treat everyone kindly. Being fired so suddenly felt like a stab in the back, and to be let go for being a security risk of all things was just them twisting the knife, especially after what happened. This just goes to show that transphobia doesn't just only negatively impact trans people themselves, but cis women are also often at the brunt of transphobia. Because there are many women out there who don't have quote-unquote traditionally feminine features. Like Amain Khalif, a female boxer who participated in last year's Olympics. She didn't have a traditionally feminine build or appearance either, and she was the subject of non-stop transvestigations and people harassing her because they thought she was born a man when she fucking wasn't. Yeah, sure, she was big, bulky, and not traditionally feminine, quote-unquote, but guess what? Welcome to real female athletics. It's not fucking WWE where it's all bodybuilders, supermodels. A slim, petite, 5'2" woman is likely not going to make it to an Olympic level, just like your average guy is likely not going to make it to an Olympic level. You need a very specific build to even be considered for the Olympics, which also requires genetics that not everyone has. Which is why you are far more likely to see someone who looks like Amain Khalif be in the Olympics as opposed to someone who looks like any other woman you see walking down the street. And all of this transvestigation bullshit just oozes misogyny. It is rooted in a very Western definition of femininity. Like I said, slim, petite, oftentimes white also, and what is seen as traditionally feminine facial features like less prevalent cheekbones or a less prevalent Adam's apple, when obviously women are not manufactured in a fucking factory, so not every woman is going to possess these characteristics. I knew a girl in high school who was 6'2". I'm not even 6 foot, just under, so she towered me. I've even seen women with more prominent Adam's apples than some guys I've seen. And now we are witnessing yet another byproduct of media instilling into us for decades that women have to fit the slim, petite, traditionally feminine facial features mold in order to be deemed as attractive and feminine. We now have many people who see women who don't fit into arbitrary and traditional set of beauty standards, accusing those women of supposedly being trans when they're really fucking not. Danny, the woman fired from Walmart, comes from a family that is mostly comprised of people who are very tall, and so she inherited those genes. And she essentially got fired for something that is beyond her control. What was she supposed to shrink in size or some shit? What was the fucking security risk on her part? She went into a bathroom that correlates with the gender she was assigned at birth and still identifies as today. She was minding her own business until this fucking weirdo burst into the bathroom while she was still in there, ranting about trans people. And this person was supposedly a cis guy, so he was barging into a bathroom he had no business being in, as I believe Walmart doesn't have gender-neutral bathrooms. Is that not security risk enough for you? A customer in your store charging into a bathroom designated for the opposite sex with the intent to harass someone in said bathroom and do God knows what else? But no, it was the employee that's the problem, the one who inherited genetics that is beyond her control, the one who was working at your store for 7 years and to my knowledge has never had an issue up until now. Walmart has unsurprisingly faced backlash for this and has since offered Danny her job back, but Danny says she is hesitant to go back. And you can't really blame her. She was a loyal worker for 7 years at your store until one day some fucking idiot saw her go into the women's restroom and was like, she's tall so she must be a man, and then follows her in there to accost her, and she loses her job over this incident. Instead of siding with an employee employee of 7 years accused of being something she isn't. But yeah, fuck Walmart. I hope she doesn't go back there. But at the same time, I mean, I don't know her living situation. She may actually need the job. So if she were to actually go back, I can't chastise her, nor should anyone else. But this should shed even more light into how much of a dog shit corporation Walmart is. They don't pay many of their workers fair wages, their working conditions are oftentimes unsafe, and any attempts at a labor union are squashed. And Walmart was one of the companies to roll back their DEI policies in the wake of Trump winning the 2024 election. And this is what happens when you foster a work environment that doesn't care about discrimination. And said work environment is facilitated by a corporation that is willing to roll over for an overtly bigoted presidential administration. You get workers who are at the brunt of discrimination, and the evil corporation they're employed by doesn't give a single fuck. Because to conglomerates like Walmart, the workers are merely disposable grunts whose only purpose is to make more money for those at the top of the chain. All in all, Walmart fucking sucks, and I'm glad that there's none here in NYC. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Bye-bye.